third speaker this morning is Mike Slattery. Mike has been a Toastmaster for 18 years, and over that period he has heard many types of speeches. But the one speech that has intrigued Mike more than others is the speech that is conversational in nature. A speech that leaves the listener with the feeling that they were informed and welcome to be there to listen. Mike has spoken on many subjects over these years, and this morning he wants to speak about a couple of recent circumstances that occurred this past month. Mike's speech is conversational, as though he was just telling you a personal story. Time is from 5 to 7 minutes. The title is A Conversation with Mike. Please welcome with me our third speaker, Mike Slattery.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. For those of you who are not familiar with a little bit of my background, I can verily say that I, since been a little guy in love, I have been in love with automobiles. In fact, for about 25 years of my life, I raced automobiles in stock cars and with NASCAR. So the automobile to me is probably an extension of my life and how I feel about my life and the performance that's important in my life. But the one thing that I feel about the car is that it is more important for me to have an image of that automobile with me while I'm driving. And I think that's one of the reasons why you find Cadillacs, Lexus, Corvettes, all these different models to fit not just the male ego, but also the female ego, and how they feel about themselves and how the car influences that feeling. I can tell you there was a book written back in the 1950s by a psychologist who worked at a trauma center at one of the major hospitals in New York City. And when someone would come in with a major injury, the first question he would ask them is, what kind of a car do you drive? And from that, because of his research, he could get the psychology or the psychological background of that individual. So I feel that an automobile in my life has been very important. And within the past month and a half, some of that has been, in my opinion, taken away. It was late in the afternoon last month. I was on my way home, and I was driving my 1992 300E Mercedes that needs a paint job, affectionately known as the Deuce. I made a turn into my neighborhood, and all of a sudden, I heard this weird noise coming from the engine. It sounded like for those of you that understand, I blew a rod. And the motor quit. I had a little bit of power, and I prayed to the Lord, let me get down the street, and let me get into my house. So I just pedaled it very softly as I went down the street, and luckily, coming down is what I'm saying. I go down the street, I didn't stop at the stop sign, made a right turn into my street, and I just barely made it up my driveway. Halfway up, the car said, "Bring it. I'm not moving." And it died right there. Whew. I made it home. So, I tried to start the car again. It wouldn't go. Just wouldn't go. So, turned it off, opened the garage door, came into the house, told the wife, "Beverly, the Deuce died. What are we going to do?" She said, "Well, we're going to have to get another car." So I said, "Okay, we'll go get another car. Only this time, I want a truck." She said, not gonna get a truck, I won't drive it. Well, why not? Well, because the last truck we had, whenever we go over a bump, I would hit my head on the roof. I said, yeah, but that was a dually. That's, for those of you who aren't familiar, that's a big 350 Ford, or the Chevy 3500 C35. It's a big truck, and I used it to pull my race car. So anyway, we made a compromise. She wanted a sedan, I wanted a truck. We compromised on an SUV. So, 2 weeks ago, we went out looking for the Hyundai, the Kia, the Jeep, and we found some really nice SUVs out there. And the reason that I wanted it is because if I needed to haul something, I could just throw it in the back and take it there. So we never made a decision on what we were going to do, because we still had one car until Monday. And that was our major driver. We're coming home from work. I'm not feeling 100%. Bev is driving the car. We get off the 215 on the Alessandro Boulevard exit, and she stops at the red light. She's going to make a right-hand turn on the Alessandro Boulevard, and all of a sudden, bang, wham! We go like this. Holy cow, what happened? We get hit by an F-350. And the back of our car looks like a squashed potato. Both the headlights have been broken out. It was a mess. So, being an insurance agent as I am, I'm supposed to know what to do. And I tell everyone what to do when they get a policy or they call me about an accident. I was shocked. I didn't know what to do. I got out of the car. Thank goodness my wife has an iPhone. We took pictures. I had enough sense to take his license number and find out that he was legal driving, and I got his insurance information, and that was it. Well, find out because of my nervousness, I didn't get the correct information, but because I got his license plate, my insurance company found out about it. But now, we're without a car. I am carless. I am wheelless. I'm driving a rental car, waiting to find out if my other car, our primary vehicle, is also a total loss. So I'm at a loss. What would you do? Mr. Toastmaster.